Lego, you wildin', man. What are you doing? Canucks video at 10 a.m. in the morning? Well, yeah, I feel like this is kind of the necessary move to do because the Vancouver Canucks yesterday had themselves a game against the Seattle Kraken, that in which I already told y'all I was not able to watch. There was some other hockey going on and I participated in that. It coincided with the time of the Canucks broadcast, so I did not get any exposure to that game until it was all done and I was home from hockey and everything. But either way, the Canucks ended up losing. And I mean, okay, Seattle's a pretty good team. Matty Beniers is a pretty good player, so yeah, go off there, Kraken. Do what you want to do. But either way, there was some pretty intriguing news with the Canucks in the midst of the game, because they had themselves a free agent signing take place in the process. Take a look at the press release made by Vancouver during the Seattle game. GM Patrick Allvin announced today the club has agreed to terms with defenseman Cole McWard on a 2-year ELC. There is an article on the Canucks website going over everything. Oh, they signed the guy. This is what Allvin said about the entire thing. Our group has worked extremely hard this college free agent season, and this signing is another important step in building out our prospect pool. Cole has produced well offensively in each of his 2 seasons at Ohio State and excelled in a leadership role during his final season with the USHL's Tri-City Storm. We look forward to having him work with Adam Foote, Sergei Gonchar, and the rest of our development staff to round out his game as he transitions to the pro level. So, let's take a look at the newest Vancouver Canuck from last night, Cole McWard out of the Ohio State University Buckeyes. Take a look at the age right here. He's 21. Can you do something for me? He's 6'1", 205 as a right-handed defenseman. And look, okay, right off the bat, yeah, right-handed defenseman. Pretty good. Good for the Canucks in establishing a contract with a guy that can help out that right side depth. But this season, as a sophomore with the Ohio State University Buckeyes system, he had 21 points in 39 games played and 16 points in 36 games as a freshman last year. Not to mention the fact that he was the captain for Tri-City in the USHL in 2020-2021, where he had 33 points in 52 games played. Go over to the awards and you can see that he did have some good things to his name. He was the second-team All-Star for the USHL back in 2020-2021, and the Canucks article on the website says that McWard was named the Big Ten Third Star of the Week earlier this season after a team-high 3 points in a series at Penn State from December 2nd to December 3rd. He's an American defenseman who was pretty good at the NCAA level, and you have some prospect analyzers. Is that the proper way to say it? Prospect analysts, I should say, go out there and talk about what it is that McWard can bring. Take a look at this Cam Robinson tweet. He actually included a video of some McWard highlights. What do the Canucks have in recently signed Cole McWard? 1. A staunch defender, especially guarding the middle of the ice. 2. Nice footwork while defending the rush. 3. Good size and skating combination. And 4. He's got some shake and bake in the offensive end. There's upside here. Now, I'll leave a link in the description to the video that Cam Robinson posted showing some McWard highlights in the offensive zone. When he says shake and bake, it's a really great description of how McWard plays in the offensive zone. He's got that ability to just kind of maneuver back and forth, shimmy-shammy his way on the blue line to open up some extra space and eventually exploit it. His mobility when walking the line is actually pretty noticeable, and Cam is pretty right based off of the clips that are here that there is some good footwork and he's got a good skating combination with his size. He also had JD Burke go out there and say this: Cole McWard was really, really good for Ohio State in the NCAA tournament. Projectable frame, reasonably mobile, and an able, albeit unremarkable, puck mover. He also has a lot of runway being relatively young. Probably just organizational depth, but that's par for the course with NCAA free agents. And so at the end of the day, the Vancouver Canucks signed themselves a guy that will probably come over to some capacity and play out the rest of the year with the Canucks. We had seen this done with Akito Hirose from earlier last week, and I actually wanted to get into a conversation about him too, because when you talk about the Canucks bolstering their blue line, bolstering up their prospect pool by dabbling in the NCAA college free agent market, It's a pretty good sign that the Canucks management is willing to go down this road, and they seem very adamant in exploring these types of options. Not only was Hirose added, but of course you have Max Sasson as well. You've got the European guys like the goaltender they had signed earlier too. So this team is really focusing on who's available and who could make an impact right away. The NCAA route is interesting because there's a lot more development time that these prospects are able to go through before they sign their contracts, meaning that they're potentially more developed than guys that have been signed, let's say, at 20 years old dominating the CHL, where they're probably a big-name guy because they're producing points like crazy against 16, 17-year-olds, and instead you're going for guys that are playing, let's say, in a middle to top 6 caliber role as players going off against 23, 24-year-olds in the NCAA scene, and as a result, you could debate that they might be ready sooner. It's all about shots on goal with these things, and the Vancouver Canucks, with the contract spots that they have, are taking those bets and willing to explore what's out there. And that's pretty good. Free prospects, free guys that can go out there, see what you can do with them at the NHL level, and sometimes you'll even get players like Akito Hirose who are playing really well. Now, I'll admit I have not watched the prior 2 Canucks games, so I have not actually seen everything live in a 60-minute format on my television screen. But based off of the reception that a lot of Canucks fans are saying about Hirose, the most recent signee of the Canucks from the Mankato system at Minnesota State University, the guy's been playing pretty all right. Here's some tweets that I thought go out there and highlight this. Daniel Wagner said this from last night's game: "I greatly enjoy Akito Hirose calmly making passes under pressure. I haven't enjoyed my Chelsea about this game, though, after the first period." You also had yourselves Daniel G, who broke down Hirose's first NHL game. Let's go ahead and take a look at this article. Link in the description, by the way, if you want to see this. Daniel writes about Hirose and his transition work and how it can translate to the NHL. Full of passing skill, the former Silverback captain effectively layers long bomb cross-rink feeds to send his forwards in flying. His range is frankly akin to NCAA superstar Caitlin Clark's logo three-pointers, often connecting through layers of defenders. Hirose makes sure to get in motion, limiting the potential of pickoffs, and blends his edges to escape from pressure. While Hirose is further along the development curve at 23 years old, it's easy to see why the Canucks coveted him as a free agent. He is not only a strong transition player, but also a proficient in-zone defender and rush defender with NHL upside. He may just end up being a depth option for the organization going forward, but there is a path to develop a bottom-pairing puck mover who could push some positive minutes on both the offensive and defensive side of the puck. Now, I don't know about you, but that description, when I hear that from Daniel, again, link in the description. When I hear that description, I sort of think of Troy Stecher, but that may just be me. If the Vancouver Canucks are able to get themselves another guy who is akin to Troy Stecher's caliber of talent in this NCAA free agency class, then hey, great. You've got two guys here that are actually, okay, hopefully, going to be good enough to crack the roster in some capacity next season. That in one, Hirose, you actually saw some pretty good early building off of in the NHL level. And another here in McWard, who is probably going to come over and hopefully exhibit the same thing. The Vancouver Canucks are bolstering up their team with free guys from the NCAA pool, and I'm all here for it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Canucks signing Cole McWard yesterday, and what you've thought so far about Akito Hirose's game from the game against LA as well as the game against Seattle. Again, I didn't watch either of these, but apparently reception's been pretty good. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.